Are you ready? It's time!
Sleeman Breweries, in association with the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, presents the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. Here's the host of the program, Andrew Rogers.
Hello once again, everybody. Andrew Rogers here for the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, and it's great to be back with you guys once again. This is our official season preview show. Man, we are excited. I'm Andrew Rogers, the host, of course, of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. Great to be back with you guys again. This is episode number 21, but yes, it is the season preview show. We got a great show lined up for you guys. Unbelievable. We have five unbelievable guests from each of the five franchises in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League this upcoming season. We have Sean Dickey from the Alvinson Killer Bees, Mitch Scott from the Allura Rocks, Dave Cassoni from the Stratford Fighting Irish, Matt LaBerge from the Stratford Jets, and Bill Ryan of the Tilsenberg Thunder. We'll get to all those in a minute. This is a big show. It's going to be a lot longer in length than most, so I'll try and keep my intro part of this short. But we are headed towards an unbelievable, another historic day in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League timeline, and that is the beginning, our opening night, regular season start. This upcoming Saturday, doubleheader. The first game is the Tilsenberg Thunder into Stratford to play the Stratford Fighting Irish. That goes at 4:30 at the William Allman Memorial Arena in Stratford. Tilsenberg Thunder, Stratford Fighting Irish. Going to be an unbelievable hockey game. 4:30 at the Allman. We'll get to the vaccination bit in a bit, or a vaccination part of this thing in a bit. But second game of the doubleheader on Saturday comes your way from Alvinson, and it goes between the Allura Rocks, the visiting Allura Rocks, and the Alvinson Killer Bees. That one goes at 8:00 on Saturday. Guys, unbelievable doubleheader finally here. Regular season, the games the games begin, and they matter. They count this time. They are for real. And you know what? A lot of hard work went into getting us to this point, guys, and we're finally here. 3 exhibition games were played, a couple in Stratford between the Tilsenberg Thunder and Allura Rocks. They went 8-7 in overtime, Tilsenberg winning on that one. Stratford over Alvinson 7-1. And then this past weekend, we had our third and final exhibition game take place. This one from the community of Strathroy, the Stratford Jets. And they were victorious over the shorthanded Tilsenberg Thunder. Both teams shorthanded in this one, but it was Stratford coming out on top. 7-1 was the final. Again, these exhibition games, guys, no testament to what we'll actually see in the regular season. More or less like an opportunity for coaches and personnel alike to figure out what they're dealing with and what they have, to tinker with some things, try some things, and really kind of get an idea of what they're looking at. But boy, if any of the 3 exhibition games are any indication on how the season's going to go, it's going to be a lot of fun. All I've heard from everyone that I've spoken to in this podcast so far is community outreach, community support. It's been absolutely overwhelming and tremendously positive. So got to go off of that. Unbelievable stuff. We had quite a few views for the 2 exhibition games on our YouTube channel when we went live stream. There was about 1,300 combined views from the 2 games, so that was unbelievable, you guys. And the podcast subscribers are up over 100. It's about 101, I think. So thank you very much, guys, for your support and your continued appreciation for what we're trying to do here over at the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. So yes, guys, keep this in mind, okay? If you don't know already, goddamn, if you don't know already, go and take care of this if you guys want to attend these games. If you attend and you're not double vaccinated, guys, we're just going to turn you away. Sorry, but those are the rules, and no one wants to risk the penalties and the bigger penalties and the bigger consequences. We don't want it's not worth the risk. So get double vaxxed, and then you can come and enjoy it like the rest of us. Okay, but here are the rules. Again, The Western Ontario Super Hockey League will require all of its members to be double vaccinated against COVID-19 prior to the beginning of the season, which is this upcoming Saturday, 5 days from now. The policy applies to all players, coaches, trainers, team, and league officials, volunteers, and anyone attending a Western Ontario Super Hockey League sanctioned event. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding in this matter. Guys, it's simple. Like, don't give us grief. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. That's the rules. That's it. Okay? Anyways. So yeah, guys, we are here for a season preview show. We're going to do something really, really fun before I kick it off into the interviews, because we have 5 people that we talked to for the season preview show. We want to get to them. We want to leave lots of time for you to enjoy those. But first, what we want to do, and you can play along at home here, I am going to give my predictions on how I feel like the standings are going to come out. You can play along at home, decide for yourself. And, it gives you guys a great motivation to keep track of what's going on throughout the course of the season to see if your predictions hold up. Mine, well, who knows? But again, these are just, gut feelings. I put this together for fun, more or less, and just kind of give you guys an idea of something to look forward to throughout the course of the season. Now, again, I could be completely wrong in every one of my predictions here, but this is how I see it fit. Again, so we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. For the Alvinson Killer Bees, I slot them in at 5th. Again, it's hard to go off of what I've seen so far from them. It's the one exhibition game, again, as we've spoken to Sean, which we'll get to in a minute here. They were short bodies and they didn't come out great, and Stratford jumped all over them. But again, it's the way the gut feeling tells me it'll be an uphill battle for them, but I hope I'm wrong on that account. In the 4th spot, I have the Stratford Jets. Don't really know a whole lot about them. They put it to Tilsenberg. Both teams shorthanded. Obviously, they could finish a lot better than 4th, but they're relatively unknown along with Alvinson. So it'll be really tough, I think, for both those franchises. But we'll see. I hope I'm proven wrong on these predictions. I slot into 3rd the Stratford Fighting Irish. I love their speed in their exhibition game, and I think they could be really dominant. As another relative unknown in this league. But I think they're going to compete. I think they're going to be fast, and I think they're going to be tough to play against. So expect good things from them. At least I expect good things from them. I see them slotting in about middle of the pack. Look at them to finish about 3rd. The 2 teams that I really thought were going to kind of be the go-to favorites of this league would be the Tilsenberg Thunder and the Lower Rocks, for no other reason other than the fact that they come in with a little bit of a base in terms of a franchise. I have the Tilsenberg Thunder, though, finishing 2nd. I like their team. I like their makeup. But again, it was just a matter of a coin flip kind of on this one, as I thought when it came down to it. I like the Allura Rocks a lot. I think their goaltending duo is going to be unbelievable. They got a lot of skill up front, and I think it really will be a coin flip between the Allura Rocks and Tilsenberg Thunder. But I have the Allura finishing tops and Tilsenberg finishing 2nd. So again, guys, play along at home. Figure out, give your predictions and, see how they come out. And it'll be a lot of fun to keep track of it throughout the course of the season. But yeah, guys, I've taken enough of your time. We're going to get to the meat of this whole podcast. So it's a season preview show. We're going to kick things off on the preview show, though, with the Alvinson Killer Bees and Sean Dickey. Enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League season preview show. Pleased to be joined. We're talking Alvinson Killer Bees, their home opener, season opener, this Saturday at 8 o'clock against the Allura Rocks. We're talking with Sean Dickey. Sean, great to have you on here, pal, and welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, always great to be on. Thank you. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, obviously that is the big topic. We're discussing obviously the season upcoming, big stage in 5 days here, as everything that we've worked towards has come to fruition. Finally, you guys are opening at home in your home barn in Alvinson against the Allura Rocks. How has the prep been from the Alvinson side of things gearing up towards this big day?
Well, I mean, we had lots of stuff organized and ready to go. And I'm sure every team is hit the exact same way we are. But yeah, COVID messed up a lot of stuff for us. We're only 250 or allowed 250 in the building.
Right.
So that kind of changes some things. I mean, we still have a lot of things organized. We have a random person that's going to be in attendance is going to be shooting for a $10,000 prize at one of the intermissions. Yeah, we've got a live band after under a pavilion. It's like I said in our interview, probably at the beginning of this whole thing. I'm not even sure what number I was, but
you're early on.
Yeah. We're trying to make it entertainment as well for people to go out. Like, I mean, people have been cooped up for a long time,
of course,
and they're looking for things to do, and it's not just a hockey game anymore. Get out and enjoy an evening entertainment. It's definitely worth the value. There'll be various things throughout the season to enjoy, and we'll be announcing those as we go. But yeah, it's the organization of everything that's going on. In fact, actually, we have a meeting at 7:00 tonight to kind of go over the final details and whatnot, and make sure everything is all copacetic. I know there was a bit of a hiccup here with our live streaming and stuff, but we're, as a league, trying to figure that out as we go here. So hopefully we can get something resolved before Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously, yeah, it is coming soon, no question. And there is a lot of excitement. What is the biggest part of this whole organizational process that's been the most exciting for you? Like, what have you enjoyed most about this entire process so far to this point?
You know what? It's the people. Like I've said it since day one. I live a block away from an arena here, and I'm driving 40 minutes to go to Alvinson. It's because of the people, right? It's the people are making it. You know, there are times in this whole process that you might feel like you're not, you're dragging a bit, and it's tiring. It truly is. And but these people make you push. Right. They want this so bad that makes you want it so bad. And I know it was kind of my vision to kind of start everything, but really it's everyone's determination to try to make this thing all work. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing for me, and seeing people light up with ideas and bringing them forward. And I mean, we have an amazing board, staff, and even the community is just getting right behind it. It's a good thing. It totally is.
Yeah, speak a little bit about that if you don't mind, because that is the biggest thing that this league is trying to push is community involvement. I mean, and again, you probably haven't maybe done as much of the grunt work. I'm not sure. Maybe you have taken on a little bit more yourself or instead of delegating. But what has that process been like for you in terms of the general community feel about the Alvinson Killer Bees? What has their response been?
It's been amazing. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm 40 minutes away. So I have various times gone to some establishments in little town of Alvinson. And I even just say, oh, did you hear about that new team coming into town? What do you think? And they're genuinely excited about the team. Like, they don't know me. They don't know me yet. Anyway, I'm sure they will after the season starts. But
sure.
But the community is getting behind it immensely. We've got some different things. We have a junior stinger program, which is a little fan club for kids from age 5 to 13. Okay. So they're going to be involved in games and stuff like that. It's trying to bring the community in. I mean, this weekend is actually the fair weekend, and we are doing various things. I mean, we have people on our committee that are also on various other committees, being a small town, right? But we're going to be at the tractor pulls on Friday night. We're before practice on Sunday, and after practice on Sunday, we'll probably be at the demo derby behind the arena. Right. It's about getting out there. It's about getting our face out there. We want these people, like, I mean, a lot of these people have supported in ways of like financial or even just helping out. We have to give back. It's just the way it's going to be. If we don't, then this team will never survive. But I'm not worried about that. I mean, once the dressing room is done, I will show you a picture of it. I've kind of give you a little sneak peek and whatnot.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, community is one of the words that are on our walls. So it's a very important thing to give back, and it's something that and right beside it, community is pride, right? So
Of
it's
course.
definitely, they go hand in hand for sure.
Well said, Sean. That's awesome. In terms of your team, like I mean, let's talk about the leadership group because you did just announce them. So you have Justin Lightfoot, the captain, Tyler Ryan, Scott Case, and Matt Clark make up your
Yep.
assistants. What are you expecting from this group, and why did you choose them? I guess for that leadership role.
Well, I mean, first off, I didn't just choose them. I had every one of the teammates give me some input.
Okay, fair enough.
And I mean, it was very evident to me that those were the guys that they had wanted. I mean, obviously we were going to have final say, but I mean, bottom line, I mean, if we didn't agree, we went a completely different way. It's kind of, defeating the purpose of having a leader in the room, right? They already know who their leader is and they're following that leader. I mean, Justin Lightfoot was a captain of mine when we were in Stratford.
Okay.
He's very vocal. And I mean, we bounce ideas off back and forth to one another. He's a great leader. And I mean, the rest of the guys I've never coached, but from what I've seen so far, they're very, well, I shouldn't say that. Tyler Ryan, I've coached before too. But I mean, these guys are like, I mean, we have a little chat group just with me and the captains, and they're bouncing off ideas like 90 already. Like this is the day after they got picked, right? So,
yeah.
But those are the kind of guys that kind of drive things in the room and keep things in order too, right? So I'm very happy with the selection of the leadership this year. I'll probably do that every single year, just so everybody's on the same page. But it couldn't be better to start our inaugural season for sure. Yep,
absolutely. It's a great selection. It's great people, having met a few of them, and obviously, big ups for them for being selected. Let's talk about the first game of the season and your home opener. The first question I want to ask you though is what do you feel about the idea of starting at home as opposed to on the road? Because obviously that can go both ways. Like, how was it important for you? Like, is this a big thing, or am I reading too much into that idea of starting at home?
No, I mean, you're right. It can go either way. It truly can. I mean, we had an exhibition game in Stratford, and we had probably 8 guys that won't be in the starting lineup, right?
Okay.
Like it's we're very, like, a lot of teams have that powerful first line, and but we're deep all the way through, right?
Gotcha.
So honestly, it was hard to pick those bottom guys for selection, right? So sure. That's why they all got to play that exhibition game, because I needed to see them in live action, right?
100%.
So it totally gave us a good view on what we have going forward. We definitely have some strengths and we do have some weaknesses, but we'll address those through the season. I'm confident we're going to be a very tough team to play against. I know we didn't mean to injure anybody in Stratford. That wasn't obviously our intention, but I mean, we are, like, they had some injuries. We were in every play. We were very physical, and that's the way we're going to play all year. There are some very highly skilled players in this league, and we're going to be, so to speak, in everybody's faces throughout the season. We're going to be very, very competitive in my mind, and we add a couple pieces here throughout the season, and who knows, right? Definitely.
Absolutely.
In terms of home and away kind of thing, for the home opener, you know what? These people have been waiting a very long time and hearing about our team and putting everything out there. I mean, it's more about, let's get the product out there. Let's see. Half of these people have never even seen, probably more than half, have never seen this kind of hockey before. True. So regardless, like, I mean, we are going to put up the best fight that we can for this, but regardless, people are going to be like, holy crap, this is nothing what I thought it was going to be, right? Like it's, I mean, people have seen junior C in that town. I mean, this is not junior C. This is, you know, I mean, we do have some junior C players on our team, but I mean, the junior C players on our team are very, very skilled or very, very tough, right? So we are, we're looking forward to Saturday, showcasing what we have for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's a great point. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's so important just to make sure that the team is competitive, because like the thing that I find about it is that, you know, each team is playing each other 6 times. So obviously by the end of the year, there's going to be a lot of familiarity when it comes to playoff time. No excuses. Excuses go out the window at that point. It's like, well, we don't know our opponent. Yeah, right. You played them 6 times. You should know your opponent. Yeah, but like I said, I think for the overall product, just being able to put something out there that's different, that's exciting, that no one's maybe ever seen before, but it's just fun and enjoyable to watch. I think that's the hope for everybody and every team represented at the end of the day. Am I right?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we have weaknesses, but we do have a lot of strengths. And I think every team is going to be looking at, you know, kind of adding those little pieces throughout the season. And it's going to come right down to, you know, I hope at some point it comes down to all the teams are pretty well even. And it just comes down to pretty much the coaching and how you handle each game, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sean, would it be fair to say that you're generally excited about this? Like, are you excited for the season for Alvinson? Are you excited for but honestly, I'm just I know that there's things that happen beyond the spectrum of what we can air and what we can't. But at the end of the day, you'd have to be excited, right?
I've coached hockey for over 27 years. I've coached senior hockey for over 10. When we had our team meeting at the once we kind of had everybody selected, I told them that this is probably the best start for a team that I've ever had in senior. Right?
That's awesome.
Everybody knows that, you know, we've got some work to do, but I mean, it's work on the ice too, right? Like, I mean, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that is good. And that is going to be totally what we're going. Our mantra is we go hard, we go physical, we don't quit. It could be 5-1 with 3 minutes to go. Anybody that lays down is probably not playing next game type of thing. Right. So it's to say I'm excited is probably I am beyond ecstatic to see the kind of what we go. The guys are a great bunch of guys, so it's going to be easy to coach them, which goes a long way, right? Like, I mean, there's some guys that maybe didn't make the team because of attitude and whatnot.
Sure.
And because bottom line, these guys get together every weekend, and they work their tails off, right? So if they're willing to do that, then we work hard as a team and we get better as a team. So to say I'm excited is probably bang on, but I'm probably a bit more than excited. Yeah.
Excellent. That's awesome. We've been speaking with Sean Dickey, the Alvinson Killer Bees. They have their home opener this Saturday, 8:00 against the Allura Rocks. Thanks a lot for doing this, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Go Bees!
You are watching the 2021 Western Ontario Super Hockey League season preview show, sponsored by Sleeman Breweries, the home of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast season special show, season preview show. It's 5 days away, guys. This is the day we've all been waiting for. This is when the games really start to count. Big doubleheader on Saturday. Second game of that doubleheader takes place in Alvinson between the Alvinson Killer Bees and the Allura Rocks. And my guest here on the season preview show is from the Allura Rocks. He's one of the many hats in the ring on that one, on the leadership group, is Mitch Scott. Great friend of the show. Mitch, great to have you back, and welcome back, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Andrew.
Mitch, this process has been quite extensive for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, because they've had their hats in the ring of a lot of different aspects of this. What has been the most exciting part for you to date of this whole entire process, at least from the Elora Rocks perspective?
As a rookie GM, it's been exciting building the team. And that first exhibition game that we had in Stratford a couple weekends ago, it was kind of cool to see everything sort of come together, and to see all the hard work that we've put in over the summer come together in what we think is going to be a really good, very competitive team. So that's been the most exciting aspect for me in that sense. It's also been exciting to see what the excitement builds from our players, wanting to be a part of the Elora Rocks and really seeing how we've changed the culture of this organization, and the season hasn't even started yet. We're doing some really cool things in the community. We've been developing a really, really great in-game experience that we're excited to share with our fans, and on the live broadcast for fans around the league. So I'm really excited to see how everything is going to come together. And then on the business side of things, my partner, Rich Widmore, has been doing an awesome job really getting the local businesses and our partners of the Elora Rocks engaged with the team, and not only with the team, but the community as well, which is something we strive for. So to answer your question, the most exciting thing about this is really how it's all sort of starting to shape up and come together. It isn't without its hiccups, but that's to be expected at this level of hockey.
Yeah, no question. Obviously, yeah, hiccups first year, always going to be hiccups, no question. And like, obviously it's going to, you're going to figure out along the way, find out what works, find out what doesn't, trial and error, so to speak. But at the end of the day, the purpose, I think, for everybody is just to deliver on a solid product. What's impressed you the most about the process when it comes to finding the team? Like, obviously, you and Tilsenberg have a little bit of an advantage, you could say, about having a base going into this where some don't. Would you say that that's been an advantage for you, or have you treated it like it's not so much of an advantage? I'm not sure what I'm trying to ask, but
yeah, no, I think I know what you're trying to say, and we're a little bit different than Tilsenberg, I guess. Tilsenberg always had a very, very competitive team, and where Elora had a pretty good roster and they had some good pieces in place. I know I'm going to leave out a couple names here, and I don't want to, but guys like Clayton Holscher, Spencer Gourlay, Corey Flemington, guys like that. I'm not trying to leave anybody out there, but we've got some good pieces to build the team around. But at the same time, when you're trying to change the culture of a team, we didn't want to necessarily settle for everything that the team had previous. And that's at no disrespect to the previous players. We knew if we're going to have to compete with a Tilsenberg or Strathroy, and every team in the league, every team is going to be very competitive. We knew that if we wanted to build a winner, we were going to have to change a few things and bring in some really key pieces. So that's really what we've tried to focus on, building around those core pieces that we felt were important to bring back. We weren't able to bring back everybody from the original team that we wanted to. But yeah, I would definitely think that a team like Tilsenberg had a really good advantage over other teams, because I think they have like 60% or 65% of their team returning from previous seasons. In the last conversations that I've had with Bill, I could be wrong on those numbers, but we're not too different from some of these other teams where we've sort of restructured the look of our team from previous.
And let's dive into that exhibition game a little bit, because it was wild. I mean, it's not every day that you have a game that features 15 goals. I understand it's exhibition play and it's going to look a little rusty, for lack of a better term. Was there anything though that stood out to you that you were impressed by? It's tough to pick out a lot. It's tough in a game that features that many goals. But what did you like about it from your team perspective that night?
I think what I like the most is that there's a lot of offensive excitement on our team. It was almost a fact where we could put out all 4 lines and they would each contribute equally. I think we had half of our goals come from one line, but that was Gourlay, Ty Campbell, and Chad Heron line. I think they had 4 goals. Ty had 2, Gourlay had 2.
Right.
But the other lines had just as many chances, and it's looking at our roster, I can't really say. We do have 5 lines of forwards. We take a few extra because at this level, guys aren't going to be able to make every single game. But our 1 through 4 is very difficult to differentiate on any given night who's our first line and who's our fourth line, kind of thing. So that impressed me the most on the offensive side, and I loved every time we gained the zone. Especially in late in the second and third period of that game, you could almost feel the energy like on our bench and from the handful of people who were in the stands behind us. You could almost like feel that anticipation and excitement that they knew something was going to happen when we hit the zone, just because of how offensively gifted a lot of the guys on our team are and how well they were already gelling and playing together. Things that I'm a little concerned about were just our defensive play. Not even necessarily from the defenseman, but just from the whole team, and that's gonna come with time, and that's gonna come with practice. And guys hadn't played a game in 18 months, so we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to where we want, but at this point there's still lots of work to be done, but definitely a lot of things to be excited about. And even though there was 8 goals scored against us, we're very happy with our 2 goaltenders. They split the game for us in that one, and a lot of the goals that were scored on them, they really didn't have a chance. A lot of backdoor passes, stuff like that. So I'm excited about our goaltending tandem that we have, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, let's dive in a bit further on that, because that's one thing that I'm really impressed with your team. If I have to be so blunt, I think that's going to be where a lot of your success is, because it's one of the better goaltending duos. If I have to be, so forward about it, between Edward and Colin, I think that's one of the strongest goaltending duos in the league. Do you feel would you say this is an accurate statement that your success rests on their shoulders? Would that be a fair statement?
I think at the start of the season, a lot of our early success is going to have to be relied upon by them, because like I said, if there's anything that we could take away from that game, it was that our team needs work defensively. Right. As does every team, not just ours. I mean, you've seen Tilsenberg give up 7 goals in back-to-back games. So every team's there. But with our goaltending, we are going to have to rely on them early for that success. We're so excited and just so happy to have 2 incredible goalies like Eddie and Colin. They both bring an energy to the room that's very calm. They just sort of go about their business, and when they're in the nets, there's no real panic there. And they're both professionals outside of the rink too. So they both have great jobs. They're both very, very smart individuals, and that helps when they're on the ice as well. They just see the game and they anticipate the game differently than others do. So we're really lucky to have them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously I think that is a big thing when you look at a team success, whether I think the makeup of the team, whether they're good people, not just good hockey players, but good people, and how they kind of come together, I think can really determine how far a team can go. Like every team.
I'll tell you this. What was the weirdest part was seeing Ed Davey in a different uniform than the one that he's worn.
Not a Shelburne Muskie jersey.
The one that he's wore previously. And I mean, I love to see him on our team, but I got to tell you, when I saw him put that jersey on, it was different for me.
It was weird for me too, man. It was weird for me too.
Absolutely.
Last time I seen him play, I saw him play 8 times, and it was all in a Muskies jersey. That was wild. So but like I say, he's an unbelievable guy, stand-up guy. Between him and Colin, like you said, I echo that statement 100%. Unbelievable people and great goaltenders as well. Let's talk about the season opening game. I mean, obviously, it's a big contest for you guys to kind of like, how big is that important first one to get out of the way? First of all, second of all, you guys are starting on the road. Do you think that's a disadvantage? Two-part question.
No, I don't think it's necessarily a disadvantage. If anything, I mean, from a hockey standpoint, I kind of like that we're starting on the road a little bit. It gives us an idea of what we can expect early on in the season.
Sure.
And I feel like Alvinson and Strathroy are you've seen a lot of stuff from Stratford come out. You've seen, obviously, we know Tilsenberg is going to be a very good team, but I feel like Alvinson and Strathroy are going to be kind of the two unknowns just at the very start of the season, because we haven't seen a whole ton of them. And I know that Alvinson didn't have their full team dressed in their exhibition game. So I know they're going to be a really competitive team, really strong. Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, they're going to be putting on a really great performance on Saturday in terms of game activations. And there's a whole festival that's going on in Alvinson right at the arena. So there's going to be lots of excitement around the team, lots of buildup, and you can guarantee their players are going to come out firing. And I think it's going to be a test right off the bat to just see what our team is made of and see what sort of character we have with this squad. So, yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a disadvantage. I will say from a business standpoint for us, we're actually kind of relieved that we're on the road.
Fair enough.
There's still a lot of work going into our home opener and our season opener. We're finalizing some last minute corporate partners who are going to be invested into our team, into the home opener as well. So really just giving us those extra 2 weeks to prepare, because we do have, I think, 7 home games in a row after being on the road for 2. So it's a pretty crazy schedule.
That is wild. Yeah.
I'm kind of, I am kind of happy that we're on the road for 2 weeks, because like I said, it gives us a little extra time to prepare on the business side of things. But on the hockey side, I think we'll be fine, and it'll be a good start to our boys.
Right on. And then the last question I have for you, Mitch, obviously appreciate you doing this anytime you come on. Big fan of you. And, you're a really good dude and really good friend of this program and everything else. When it comes down to it, the community involvement is obviously something that this league has preached time and time again. What has been the community response to this league and the new look Allura Rocks?
Yeah, I think a lot of people still have questions about the league. Not necessarily questions, but they're more curious than anything. Mm-hmm. And as much as we are trying to promote the new league and the ways that we're advertising ourselves within the league, I really think for us the big change and the big excitement is going to be in the culture change that we have with the team. Some people don't necessarily know that we're changing leagues, and they might not know until they actually get to the arena. And even though it's been advertised and talked about in newspapers and the podcasts that we've been on, not everyone is going to know right away that we're in a new league. But I do think that when they get to our home opener and they see what we do, they're going to be like, okay, this is something totally different we haven't seen or Rocks in a long time, if ever. So that's the community excitement has really been positive. Rich has been doing an unbelievable job of gaining interest from our local partners on the corporate side of things. I think at this point we have 20 different 20 unique partners who will have activation on some shape or form. We have a great beer partner in Sleeman Breweries, but also locally in the Allura Brewing Company.
Fantastic, yeah.
Who will be helping us out, and you will see their name on the back of our jerseys. And then just sort of some unique activations that we'll have that will also involve local charitable organizations, youth groups, anything that we can do to really help the community, I think is only going to be more of a benefit. And it's been quite a while since the Allura Rocks actually were engaged in the community.
Yeah, no,
already being seen.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Last time the Allura Rocks were on the ice, they were preparing for an A final before COVID shut them down. So
yeah, 100%.
Mitch, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, dude. We appreciate you coming on, and best of luck this Saturday in your season opener against the Alvinson Killer Bees in Alvinson, 8 o'clock Saturday. Thanks a lot for doing this, pal.
Thanks, A-Rod. See you, buddy.
You are watching the 2021 Western Ontario Super Hockey League season preview show, sponsored by Sleeman Breweries, the home of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League.
All right, everybody, we are here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. We are here for this. This is a season preview show. We are talking about the Stratford Fighting Irish. They're going to be playing out of the William Allen Memorial Arena in Stratford, Ontario, for all their games throughout the course of the season. The Stratford Fighting Irish, of course, and we're here with Dave Cassoni, who joins us now. Dave, thank you very much for coming on and doing this preview show for us, and welcome.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. Actually, that's got a great ring to it, doesn't it? Season opener and season starting and playing out of the William. My goodness, if you had asked me a year and a half ago whether we'd get to this point, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But it's kind of exciting to be talking about hitting the ice. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, obviously this whole league, there's a lot of people to be thankful for and all their hard work. And how this has all kind of come together. What's impressed you the most, I guess, in the prep and the fact that we are here 5 days away from opening night?
Well, I'll tell you that I said it before when we've spoken before. The group, the leadership group from this league is they're working hard in all their different organizations, and they care about all the organizations in the league. So there's been a lot of dialogue. There's been some debate. There's been some a little bit of an interesting flavor to some of the, I wouldn't say they're arguments, but they're good debates.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we've been able to come up with some really good ideas to move forward as a league, and that's due in large part to the fact that you've got 5 different owners here that are or presidents that are excited about being a part of this group and care about the group. So that's impressed me the most. There's been a lot of dialogue that's gone back and forth, and I love the direction that it's heading, and I love the fact that it isn't all about consensus all the time, but it's about some really good, healthy dialogue to get this league to where it needs to be. And we're just starting out, so it requires a lot of dialogue amongst the group, and they've been great. They've been a great group to work with.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gearing up, obviously, night number 1, October the 2nd, this upcoming Saturday. You have our very first official game in WOSHL history. You got the Tilsenberg Thunder visiting the Stratford Fighting Irish, 4:30 at the Allman. What do you think will be the biggest challenge? If you had, from a league perspective in year number 1, what do you think the biggest challenge is going to be?
The biggest challenge is for some of our teams, they're experienced teams. So we're going to have to rely heavily on their experiences in the other leagues. Mm-hmm. For the rest of us, this is brand new. So We're going to encounter things that we didn't expect or plan on, and we're going to have to circumvent those, or, kind of get over those obstacles as they're presented. And we do that as a team. So, we think we're planned. We think we're ready to get going as a league, and I'm sure there'll be some hiccups along the way. But I have 100% faith in this group that as those things arise, we'll be able to work through them.
And yeah, obviously the Irish have they've done a lot of skates. There's been a lot of healthy team bonding experiences. The team seems like a really close knit group from what I can tell. And obviously, a very strong first exhibition game against, maybe a shorthanded Alvinson team. But what did you like about that exhibition game? What did you take away from that? And what do you see translating into the regular season play that's going to, that you think will impress the viewers the most?
I'm always guarded in what I take away from an exhibition game. I think
of course,
exhibition game's an exhibition game for a reason, but there are a couple things that really stand out for me, especially with the Irish, and that is just the camaraderie and the team unity that this group has. We didn't play together last year, so and now a lot of the guys know each other from different different times in their hockey career, but they're really meshing well. And that's if anything, that's the start that we want. Only great things will come from that, because they'll feel a part of a team, and they're going to enjoy coming to the rink every day. And what do we want to really show for our fans? We want to show a team that just loves being here in the community and playing hockey, and can't wait to get to the rink each day to put on the Irish colors and perform for our fans here in town.
Yeah, no, that is the big thing that this whole league is going for, is community involvement. What has been the general buzz in the community, as someone who's been heavily involved with the Irish and getting sponsorships and doing a lot of the grunt work, essentially? What has been the community, I guess, response? Like, how has that been for you?
Community response has been it's been exciting. It's been fun to hear the buzz on the street about the Irish, which is truly there. And I'm not just blowing smoke here.
Right.
There's a buzz around town about us getting to the rink, which is great. Our mascot and name the mascot contest and video is
It was funny.
The video was not only funny, it was so well done. Right. And we're getting a good response from that as well. We're jumping into this community, this hockey community, with both feet. And I'm proud of the fact that there's not too many people who haven't heard of what's going on with the Irish on Saturdays, and I just hope to see them all at the rink. I look forward to talking to them and really celebrating hockey at this level.
And now let's talk also about one thing that I find particularly interesting, is that this whole idea of all of your home games being on Saturdays at 4:30 in the afternoon. Like, talk about a unique time. Like, it's not exactly a prime time slot, but like, what was the logic behind that? Can you kind of give us a little bit about that?
Originally it wasn't, there was not I'd love to say we had a lot of logic going into it, but right. It was the time slot we were given, okay, and at the end of the day, in Stratford, we are new to the party, and right. We have to bide our time. But having said that, when we first got the time and we started to think about it, what an amazing time slot we could have. First of all, we're playing at the Almond, which this allows us to play at the Almond, and the Almond is a shrine in terms of hockey in Southwestern Ontario, or in Canada, in my mind.
Fair point.
Secondly, that 4:30 slot allows our guys to be a part of this organization, but also go back to their families or do whatever it is that they need to do on a Saturday night. And same for our fans. It's a time slot that doesn't interfere with a lot of different things, and it's great to get young kids out to the games to watch the games too. 4:30 to 6:30, 7 o'clock. Right. They're at home watching the Leafs game. So sure. It's going to work out really well for us.
Oh, I think so too. I'm a big fan of it. Absolutely. It's going to work out really well. Let's hope. And then let's talk about your first game. Obviously, you could, some pundits out there might call it a tough draw, getting Tilsenberg, who maybe looking at it as a league favorite to come out, in one of those top two positions. Do you think that's a good bar setter for your team in game number one?
Tilsenberg's going to be a strong team. They're a good organization. They're well rooted in their community. They've been a team, and they've been together for a number of years now. And we have to give them the utmost respect heading into this game. But our guys are excited, and they've been working hard. Eventually you're going to have to play everybody in the league anyway, Andrew. So I've never been I've never shied away from playing anybody at any time, I think. Right. And that's got to be our attitude as a group. We're going to play teams when they're at their best, and we're going to play good teams when they're not at their best. And we just need to come to the rink every day excited to play and ready to put in a full 60-minute effort. And I think on Saturday, if we put in a full 60-minute effort, we'll be proud of what happens. And as we go along, an entire season isn't made on game one, but we're excited about game one at the Almond and playing a formidable opponent.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great contest. I can sense that one already. Yeah, like you said, you are going to get a lot of familiarity with teams having, going to play them 6 times each. So that's going to be quite a situation when it comes down to playoff time, because I think at that point, you could look at it and say, well, you should know your opponent pretty well at that point.
Well, I'm sure we're all gonna get to know each other really well. But even having said that, I think there's going to be a lot of parity in this league. I think the teams have worked really hard at putting a good product together. Some had to start from scratch, like ourselves. Some had a bit of a base to go on, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a good league with good parity, and we're going to play Tilsenberg a number of times, and it just so happens we start with them. So that'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Last question I want to ask you, just in terms of I guess put your forecaster hat on for me if you can. What do you think will be at the end of the year, what Stratford Fighting Irish will be well known as their greatest strength this season? What are you hoping to see as the greatest strength?
Well, that's a loaded one, right? Like, really, honestly, we're a high energy group. This group is not going to give games away easily. They're going to work hard. They're going to work hard for 60 minutes. They care a great deal about each other, so they're not going to let each other down in terms of their compete meter and wanting to go and play as hard as they can. So I think at the end of the season, what you're going to see in the Irish is a team that never gives up, is in it in every game, and plays the last shift of that game as competitively as the first shift. I think with that we've got great things to build on from that point. We have some real skilled players. We have some players that are just solid at their position, but every one of them to a man are excited about playing and are really willing to go and give her.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, Stratford Fighting Irish versus the Tilsenberg Thunder this Saturday in the season opener at 4:30 at the William Allen Memorial Arena. We've been talking with Dave Cassoni. Dave, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming on again, and we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Okay, thanks for having me out, Andrew. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. And hey, go Irish!
You are watching the 2021 Western Ontario Super Hockey League season preview show, sponsored by Sleeman Breweries, the home of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League.
Back here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, season preview show. We're talking Stratford Jets. We're pleased to be joined with it this time by Matthew LeBerge. Matt, it's great to have you on here again. Welcome back, dude, and thanks a lot for coming on with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Let's talk about that, because the season's up and coming. Obviously, we got our big opening weekend coming up here 5 days from now, but you guys actually don't start until the following weekend when you play your home opener Friday, October the 8th, Friday, October the 8th against Tilsenberg. How exciting is it when you hear that there's a game to be coming that's going to count and that's going to be for real this time?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think players they're eager to be back on the ice. Coaches are fired up, and I think the town's talking about it too. So to have local hockey, talented hockey, and any hockey after the past 2 years is going to be fantastic. So we're looking forward to it.
What has been the most exciting process about all of this to this point for you, Matt? Obviously, you're a player rep. So, this is obviously got to be a different layer of excitement for you, right?
Yeah. And I think just watching the journey go from this being an idea where a couple guys were talking about it to now it's kind of grown bigger than myself and the other guys that are helping organize it. Guys are coming to us, they're approaching us. Hey, I'm from Stratford, I want to play hockey. And I think just seeing the excitement in guys when they hear about it, that's been the best part for me so far.
And what has the community response been? Obviously, this is kind of different. It's a new league, a brand new team coming in. what has been the response in your opinion, and what you've heard from others?
It's been all positive. We've had a ton of people reach out with ideas or just support, people that have experience or people that just love hockey and love Strathroy. So the town has kind of rallied behind it, and we've been able to take those great ideas and hopefully put them to work. So yeah, I mean, we're just kind of floored by the response of the town, and we're excited to get out there and play some hockey for them.
And now, obviously, yeah, like you guys just played your one and only exhibition game against a team that played two. What was your takeaway from that exhibition victory against the Tilsenberg Thunder?
Well, I mean, it's preseason, so you don't want to put too much stock into it. Tilsenberg was short. We were missing a couple of guys too, but for the guys that were there, it was just a taste test of what this year is going to bring. It's going to be fast hockey. It's going to be competitive hockey, but it was fun, and we were lucky enough to come away with a W. So, I mean, we'll always take that, but we're excited for the real test, and that starts October 8th.
Yeah, so talk about that a little bit. I mean, obviously, the idea behind this game being an event. So obviously, anytime you guys have a home game, there's obviously got to be some sort of a pull. What do you guys have planned for that October 8th date?
Well, we've relied on our sponsors to create themes for each game. A lot of that's going to be geared towards giving back, and that's giving back to the town, giving back to the fans, to the young hockey players in town. So for an example, our home opener, well, all of our tickets are $5 to get in. Mm-hmm. And our home opener, we're going to provide a snack to every single person that comes in the building.
Okay.
So whether that's a hot dog or a burger, just having more than hockey be the reason that people come. I think people are craving the ability to come out for an inexpensive night, to get together, have a drink, have a snack with their friends, with their neighbors, and that's why people want to come to the rink. So we're just going to try and build that environment while we're playing hockey. That's just the bonus.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's a great idea. And I obviously hope the response is very positive with that. When it comes to the makeup of this team, what would you say is the strength that you guys are going for? Like, okay, if you had to say, okay, the strength of the Strathroy Jets is blank.
I think the strength of the Strathroy Jets is just that we're from Strathroy. I think you play a little bit harder when you're representing your hometown. You play a little bit harder when you're playing with guys that you know and that you grew up with. You play a little bit harder when mom and dad, or for some guys, their sons and daughters are going to be in the crowd. I think that's going to be our strength, is that it's hockey for us, but it's a little bit more than hockey too. I think that's going to bring us together. I think that's going to be the reason guys try really hard. And I hope that's the reason that we have fun too.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. Matt, I appreciate you squeezing us in on your busy schedule, and we really appreciate you coming on here and speaking a little bit about the Jets, giving us kind of an idea there. And best of luck in your guys' season and home opener on October the 8th against the Tilsenberg Thunder. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate all you do for the league. Thanks, man.
You are watching the 2021 Western Ontario Super Hockey League Season Preview Show, sponsored by Sleeman Breweries, the home of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We have our final guest for the season preview show. Joining us from the Tilsenberg Thunder is Bill Ryan. He gets his squad prepared for this weekend's season opening afternoon into the evening. First of the doubleheader, Tilsenberg Thunder and the Stratford Fighting Irish from the Allman at 4:30 on Saturday. Bill, it's a pleasure to have you back here. Thanks a lot for doing this, and welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always good to chat.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole reason that we're here is obviously to preview the season. You guys come in, I think, you know, depending on who you ask, they're intimidated by you guys because they think you're going to run away with this thing because you have a pre-existing base of a roster. What's your response to that? Do you think you guys have this, Goliath label already?
Well, obviously we've got 20 years of history behind us. Some of these other teams, well, the Laura's got a bit of history as well, but we do have some veterans and returning players. And the other rosters, with the exception of Laura, may not have that benefit. However, I think it might be a little premature to say we're going to run away with it. I see some of the people being signed in Stratford and Strathroy and in Alara and in Alvinson, and I think every team's going to have their quality players. It comes down to who's got the best player, who puts together the best team, right? So.
Yeah, it could definitely change on any given night. That's for sure. Because
at the end of the day, I think we'll be extremely competitive. I think we'll be, my goal is always to finish top, but
sure.
Your goal always should be, right. At the end of the day, it'd be great to be the first person to win the Sleeman Cup, but I think it's a little premature to try to make that statement, right? So
no doubt. Hey, you know what? And again, that's what's so fascinating about this league. 5 teams, each team plays each team plays the other team 6 times. I think by the time playoffs rolls around, like, there should be no excuses as to whether or not you know a team.
Oh, exactly.
So
playing each other 6 times, you get familiar with them real quick.
100%. And obviously, yeah, by the time game 3-4 against that opponent comes around, the rosters could look significantly different. Who knows? But that's what I think makes it exciting. What's been the most exciting part about this whole entire process to this point for you, Bill?
You mean the process of coming to a new league or the process of building the team?
Both. Let's say both.
Well, building the team after, 16, 18 months of being away from the rinks has been a challenge. Some guys had to be coaxed to get back on their skates.
Sure.
A bunch of new guys are showing interest, and there'll be some new pieces that we'll be announcing along with some returning ones this week. It's always fun doing the recruiting. I like doing the recruiting and the talking to guys and, showing them the benefits of coming to our league versus, the other leagues in Ontario. The less travel, the location, the time of games, all the stuff that we're working to make it easier on the guy that wants to play at this level of hockey.
Yeah.
I find it exciting because, we're getting to any rink within an hour and 20 minutes.
This is going to be nice.
You're not going to have those 3 a.m. return trips and
yeah,
all that.
You don't want that.
At least not in the short term. And as we grow, who knows? But
right.
I think it's making it easier to bring in a more committed hockey player and still a very good, high quality hockey player as well, right? So.
Of course. And the interesting part too is, like, I've talked to the other guys about this as well, as the whole idea behind community involvement. And obviously, Jamie Petrie, league commissioner, league president, has really stressed that that's going to be of an importance. How has it been in the Tilsenberg area? And because this is a return to hockey for the Tilsenberg Thunder, but it is a switch from the WOA to this new Western Ontario Super Hockey League. What's the response been like?
I think everybody's really excited to see the new product and everybody back on the ice. I think our fans will be our fans regardless of what league we play in. I think they like all the little extras that we're trying to add here, whether it's the podcast and, streaming of games and, the in-game stuff that we're hoping to do at a lot of the rinks and,
right.
And the fact that we've got some, corporate involvement from some, brand name sponsors like Siemens and Blackfly and, things of that nature. They see a bit of a different package and they're interested to see how it turns and translates onto the ice, right? So
yeah. And again, speaking of the home environment when it comes to these games at home and the product that you're putting out there for your fans, you guys kind of behind the 8 ball to start. You got 6 or 7 games on the road to start. What's that going to be like out of the gate for you guys?
Well, at the beginning of the season, it's going to stink.
Sure. Call it spade.
I think at the end of the year, the guys are going to love it when they, get a 2-week break at Christmas, and then almost everything they play after Christmas is in the home barn. Right. I think there'll be that benefit, but we did that because we had to do what was right for the league. Our arena wasn't quite ready to let us know, how many we could have in the building, what the COVID protocols were and all that sort of thing. And I didn't want to hold up a schedule. So I forewarned up most of our guys saying, hey, we're going to be road warriors early on. And they all seem to accept it.
Yep.
And that's why we're going to carry a 25 to 27 man roster, because you're going to have some guys in and out, right? So it'll be a challenge early on, but we'll get really good at packing our gear and getting on the road and unpacking and being efficient, I guess. So
at the end of the day, you're obviously, you're wearing a couple hats, obviously, with you working really close with Jamie Petrie and then you run the Tilsenberg Thunder. In terms of this league and it's year 1, what are you hoping for at the end when you sit back after it's all said and done and saying, man, this really surprised me or this really impressed me? What are you hoping for at the end of the day?
Well, I got a few hopes, concerns, dreams, whatever you want to call them. On the hope side of things, I hope we have a very good year, very little glitches. You know, we don't have to deal with a bunch of reschedules because of cancellations due to COVID or weather or, you know, whatever could happen. Right. You know, we're a new league, so we're going to have some hiccups. You know, we've experienced a few along the way already, but I think if at the end of the day, we can prove presenting that championship end of March, early April to the league champion. All the teams did well. They all survived. They're all ready for the next season, and some other teams perhaps decide to join us or come or be created. I think it'll be a successful year. Hopefully at some point we can get that whole Eastern Western thing melded together so that we can do something at the end of the year. But right now and COVID protocols are making that a challenge. So
sure.
I think year one, if we get through this, everybody relatively unscathed, all the teams doing well, you know, and a champion's race at the end of the year, that'll be a start of something special for year two.
And then the last question I have for you before I let you go on this, you know, we really appreciate you coming on and speaking with us from the Tilsenberg Thunder side of things. What I've noticed is that there are a lot of good people in this league, right down from the players to the management to the people at the top and all the way to the bottom. Like, how important is that in a team success, do you feel, and for a league success in general?
I think it's probably one of the most important things in the entire league is the fact that, yes, we're 5 competitive teams, but we're 5 partners.
Right.
And we're doing everything together. We may not agree with all the decisions we make, but it's a democracy, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I think at the end of the day, the fact that you have 5 teams working together for a common goal as far as the league goes and running putting a smooth production together and putting a uniform product on the ice and hopefully a very competitive product and competitive league on the ice. That's a great thing. I don't think we could hope for much more than that.
Hey,
moving forward, I think we just maintain that partnership and hopefully build it. So.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself. You said that perfectly. Bill, I want to thank you again for coming on and speaking to us, taking the time out of your busy schedule to do that. We appreciate it. And best of luck this Saturday, 4:30 at the Allman against the Stratford Fighting Irish. Good luck to you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long off season. I've never had one this long.
Right on. It'll be fun.
Take care.
You are watching the 2021 Western Ontario Super Hockey League Season Preview Show, sponsored by Sleeman Breweries, the home of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League.
Well, folks, there you have it. Unbelievable string of events or interviews from these people. We really, truly do in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. We've been blessed with the unbelievable people and unbelievable vision, and it's finally going to come to a head. So as I said, guys, this upcoming Saturday, doubleheader, 5 days is until we start opening night. Doubleheader, 4:30 at the William All Memorial Arena. Stratford Fighting Irish will host the Tilsenberg Thunder in game number 1. Game 2 will take place in Alvinson between the Alvinson Killer Bees and the Aurora Rocks Heckles at 8 o'clock. Guys, Andrew Rogers, the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. Thank you very much to my guests today, Sean Dickey, Mitch Scott, Dave Cassoni, Matt LaBerge, and Bill Ryan. We really appreciate their time, and we really appreciate them coming on and doing this for us. I hope you guys have enjoyed our season preview show. 5 days from now, we get it started. Game number 1 and game number 2 of this 60-game regular season. It's going to be an unbelievable ride. Strap in and get ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. For all of us here at the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, and for all of us within the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, Andrew Rogers signing off, the host, saying so long, and we'll see you guys.